Les presento a nuestro nuevo manager.
Today, Carlo Ancelotti has announced his retirement, and that is why Rebuild Sombrero is stepping in at Real Madrid. The 10-season takeover series is back with Real Madrid and Rebuild Sombrero at the helm. So just to give you guys a little update on how the point system works. You get 1 point for winning any cup competition, be it a domestic one like the Copa del Rey or the Super Copa de España in this case, the UEFA Super Cup as well, 1 point. And then you get 3 points for winning La Liga, as well as 3 points for winning the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. And finally 5 points for the big one, the Champions League. And so far, we have Napoli on 49 points and Manchester United on 32. I'm sure the Madrid fans are excited because so am I. We have also loaned in 1 player in Kepa who I just don't see the need to keep. So even though it costs me 1.3 million, I'm gonna terminate his loan. Just like Iker Bravo, who is loaned out from Bayer Leverkusen into Real Madrid, we don't need to loan players. I can immediately tell you lads that I don't really like this formation. We have 2 players in Vini Jr. and Rodrigo, both out of position, and I don't like that. This squad is bloated. We have many lower rated players in our ranks. I want to give them either loan moves or sell them immediately. This is the formation I have come up with, a 4-3-3 holding, still quite offensive with 2 CMs and 1 CDM. We have José Lu up top, who is only on loan from Espanyol, and I'm not sure I'm gonna buy him. Certainly the striker position is the one that I'm going to go in for immediately. Even though Goulet is a cam, he's the only man who can play on the wings as a backup. So that needs to change as well. We are going to play a counter-attacking style of play because Real Madrid really excel at that kind of play. First big player that we get out of the club here at Real Madrid is Brahim Diaz, who goes to Chelsea for 63 million. Arda Güler will go on loan to Inter Milan to get some more game time because at Real Madrid he won't get enough. I have changed Eduardo Camavinga's position from a central midfielder to a CDM, and he stays at an 83. Dani Ceballos leaves us to go to Manchester United for 24 million. It is Lucas Vazquez joining Inter Milan for 20.7 million. Only 4 reserves left. That is what you want to see. I want to get Tobias and Zidane out of the club as well as Canizare. But this is the starting 11. Alaba, as he used to play at Bayern Munich, is a left back. We have Vini Jr., José Lu and Rodrigo up top. José Lu will get replaced very shortly. Georgian sensation, that is Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. He had already been linked to Real Madrid and now he comes in for 135 million from Napoli, of course, where he emerged as a superstar. His overall is an 86. We go in for a player that Real Madrid have just signed in real life. They have signed him as a free agent in real life, but I couldn't do that here. His contract was though expiring in 10 months. I am of course talking about the French sensation, that is Kylian Mbappe, who joins us for 150 million exactly. He's of course our starting striker and he's a 92 overall. With Mbappe in the striker starting spot and Kvicha in the left wing spot on the bench, we go into season number 1 with Real Madrid. We have a brief overlook of what we have done. Sold Alvaro, Vazquez, signed of course Mbappe and Kvaratskhelia, sold Ceballos, Marvel, Güler, Obrador, Paz, all gone on loan, and Brahim, of course, our first sale of this rebuild. David Alaba's position from a centre-back to a left-back, and he stays at an 85. We have arrived at the end of season number 1, being the champions of La Liga EA Sports, 1 point only ahead of Barcelona and 9 ahead of Atletico Madrid. So this is 3 points onto the leaderboard. In the Super Copa, we have defeated Atletico Madrid in the semi-finals, and even Barcelona 4-2 in the final, another point, 4 points now, onto the leaderboard. Make that 5, because we've also won the Copa España against Real Sociedad, not bad. But now the big one, the Champions League. We have topped our Champions League group 6 points ahead of Napoli. Before defeating Lazio in a very tight game 4-3 on aggregate. Even Barcelona in the quarters 3-1. And RC Lens 3-2 in the semi-finals to reach the final where we defeated Inter Milan 2-1. Brilliant. 5 points once again added onto the board, which makes it 10 points in total, only in season number 1. I mean, 3 players have more than 20 goals. Rodrigo 21, Vini Jr. 27, and the pick of the bunch, Mbappe, the man we bought at the beginning of the season, 28 goals in 40 games. What a player, what a pickup. Ahead of next season, we already sell Fran Garcia, who didn't get enough game time. He was complaining. He's been sold to Arsenal for 59 million. So at the end of what was a brilliant first season, we have collected the maximum of 10 points. And we are off to the second season here with Real Madrid. So lads, let's have a little look here at the squad at the beginning of the second season. Nacho Fernandez will be retiring at the end of the season. Lataza has returned from loan, a striker, but only 75 overall, 23 years of age. We have a lot of players who returned from loan, namely Goulet. I'm gonna see how I can ship off some of those players here, especially Marvin, Vallejo, Ramon. They are not really players we need. Alaba and a 32-year-old 85 rated Carvajal will go down in their overall in this season. So we'll need to improve those positions, as well as the backup striker position when Mbappe is absent. He's 22, 10 years younger than, of course, Alaba. It is Nuno Mendes coming in from Arsenal for 55 million. Second player we go in for is the other fullback position. It is the Moroccan international right back coming into the club. Achraf Hakimi joining us from Manchester United for 80 million on the dot. He will be about an 86 rated right back. As I promised you lads, we'd go in for a backup striker. And it's a very good one. Coming into the building is a Slovenian international striker in Benjamin Sesko. Joining us for 50.6 million plus Noel, our backup striker until this moment in time. He's about 81 overall at 21 years of age. This is how the squad is looking like. I have put Hakimi here at right back. He's 25, 85 overall. We have Sesko, of course, 21, 81 on the bench. And then Mendes, 22, 83 overall, our new left back. We will try to sell Mendy, who is 29 already, same overall than Mendes. Nacho is retiring, so next season we'll need a new centre back. We get a first opportunity for a trophy on the 14th of August, very early doors. It is the UEFA Super Cup between Real Madrid and Newcastle United. We quick sim the game against Newcastle, and we actually lose. We have lost this game. This is the first kind of adversity we face. Gordon gave them the lead, Vini Jr. with the equalizer and gave us the lead again. But then Almiron with the equalizer, and we lose on penalties because Cruz and our new man Hakimi missed. In the final days of the transfer window in season number 2, we've done some business, loaning out Marvin, Vallejo, selling Ferland Mendy to PSG for 50 million, also loaning out Marvel and Goulet once again for another year to Juventus. So a lot of business done to thin out the squad, which is very necessary. This team looks much better now that there are less players in it. I mean, look how much we've thinned this squad out. Only 3 reserves left. That's what I like to see. And in season number 2, we'll be in a quite difficult group. The team that beat us in the Super Cup, Newcastle United, Roma from Italy, and then Brøndby, who most certainly will be the whipping boys of this group. Season 2 has come to an end with us, yet again, winning La Liga. We have cracked the 100 points, 20 points ahead of Barcelona, 30 ahead of third placed Atletico. This is unbelievable. 3 further points onto the leaderboard. However, we have lost, for once, the Supercopa against Real Sociedad. No points there. On the other hand, we win Copa España over Celta Vigo 1-0 to clinch a 4th point of the season. But the big one, the Champions League, where we topped the group ahead of Roma 4 points before defeating Milan on penalties 4-1 in the round of 16. What a close encounter. In the quarters we destroyed Leipzig 6-1 on aggregate, and in the semis we overcame our group stage opponents Roma 2-1 to face Man City in the final. Did we win? Yes, we do! Another 5 points onto the leaderboard, and yet again we make 9 points this season. What an incredible first 2 seasons here with Real Madrid. I have never seen something like this. Vini Jr., 40 goals, 22 assists in 60 games. So 62 contributions in 60 games. This is insane. Mbappe with 23 goals, 7 assists. Rodrigo with 20 goals. Šeško, even the backup striker, with 13 goals. Bellingham came in clutch as well, 12 goals, 8 assists. Those stats are fire. More than fire. I mean, we have torn apart not only La Liga, but even the Champions League once again. So after 2 seasons, we are on 19 points. Next up, it is Season 3. Looking at this squad here at the beginning of Season number 3, I don't even know where to improve. We have nearly everyone 90 or above, with the exception of Alaba, Rudiger, and Tchouaméni, who is very, very close though, and also Hakimi. We can replace Mendes in the starting 11 with Alaba. Mendes is of course 23 only, he's already 1 higher rated than a 33-year-old Alaba. Courtois even in at 33 but still 92 overall. Bellingham to a 92. Valverde even, the captain, to a 91. Modric has of course retired. We have Vini Jr. up to 96. Unbelievable. 93 Mbappe, 92 Kvaratskhelia. And Šeško on the bench at an 84 rated. We even have Kamavinga up to an 89 as well. He could even play now at the space of Tchouaméni, who is 3 years older, but for now we stay like this. Our first signing of the 3rd season is going to be a very, very big one. A Champions League winner last season. From Manchester City, a CDM to give us more cover and strength and quality in those positions. It is Rodri joining us from Manchester City for 165 million. Incredible signing. At 92 overall, 29 years of age. We play the Super Cup as per usual against Borussia Dortmund, the UEFA Super Cup here. Can we get a first point on the board in season number 3? Yes, we do. Kvaratskhelia and Mbappe once again delivering. We get our first point of season number 3. A new centre-back to rejuvenate the aging back line. It is the Italian Alessandro Bastoni joining us for 124 million from Inter Milan. And he'll be about an 88 overall. Bastoni and Rodri into the starting 11. Rodri 29.92, Bastoni 26.88. Rudiger has gone to the bench, 32.87. We are stacked in those midfield positions as well as the defensive ones. We sell a big player to Manchester United. It is Toni Kroos. Only had 1 year left on his deal, 14.5 million. We'll be in a Champions League group alongside Chelsea, Sporting and Shakhtar Donetsk. Not an easy group by any stretch of the imagination, but still with our super team, we should get out in the flying season, being the champions by 8 points ahead of Barcelona. Of course, another 3 points onto the leaderboard. We also come out victorious from the Supercopa, where we beat Barcelona in the final 2-1, as well as beating Real Betis in the Copa de España final to make, of course, 1 more point. And the big one, the Champions League, where we topped our group, 2 points only ahead of Chelsea, 3 ahead of Shakhtar, very close group. Round of 16, we narrowly passed by Roma, 3-2 on aggregate. In the quarters, we thumped Chelsea 5-2, our group stage opponents. And in the semis, Athletic Bilbao have been victim to Real Madrid, 6-3. And in the final, oh my, we have beaten PSG on penalties to make it 5 more points onto the leaderboard in season number 3. In total, this team have assembled 11 points only in season number 3, of course. 1 for the UEFA Super Cup, 1 for the Spanish Super Cup, 3 for La Liga, 1 for the Copa de España, and 5 points for the big one, the Champions League. Vinicius Jr. is just from another planet. 43 goals and 10 assists in 60 appearances is insane. Rodrigo with 21 goals in 29 is crazy as well. Kvaratskhelia 20 in 44 is good. Mbappe 17 and 10 in 38, not bad either. And then Valverde with 20 assists up to a 92, incredible player. Those stats are majestic. We have won absolutely everything in season number 3. Our highest points total ever here, 11 points. And I don't even know where to go from here, because this team is nearly perfect. 30 points on the board in 3 seasons. It's just insane. And now we are going into season number 4. At the start of the 4th season here with Real Madrid, we go in for one of the future. A man that has already been linked to Real Madrid. An admirer of Cristiano Ronaldo, even though he's Argentinian. Alejandro Garnacho joining us for 50 million plus Antonio Rüdiger. Next up, we go in for a new left back, also in a swap deal. We ship out yet another one from the older guards, because Theo Hernandez is joining us in a swap deal for 82.6 million plus David Alaba. It is the UEFA Super Cup against the Spanish side Villarreal, who have won the Europa League last season. Can we get the first point on the board, the 31st in total, against Villarreal? We quick sim, and we win, as per usual, standard procedure. Valverde and Tchouaméni score for us. Mount gave them one back, as we sink the yellow submarine to get our first point of season number 4. In the 4th season, we go in for another centre back, as Antonio Rüdiger has of course left us in a swap deal. Sven Botman joining us from Napoli for 100 million on the dot. I have now tried to get rid of Marvel for 3 years, and finally I've run out of patience. That is why I'm gonna release him. I'm sorry, my friend, you get 1.3 million. Having a look at the squad for the 4th season, of course, what I can tell you is that nothing changed in the starting 11. However, on the bench, a lot changed. We have Botman, 26.87 as a centre-back. We have Garnacho on the reserves, 22.83. And of course, Theo Hernandez, who doesn't even make it into the starting 11 at 28.88 overall, because Mendes is 24.89. And even Tchouaméni at 90 rated on the bench, and Camavinga, even more criminal, at 23.90 on the bench, on the reserves even. But I'm gonna make sure that he gets enough game time. We'll be in a very tricky group this season, alongside Bayern Munich, Galatasaray and Dynamo Kiev. So Bayern and Galatasaray are going to be really hard to crack. We switch Alejandro Garnacho's position from a left midfielder to a left winger, and he goes up by 1 to an 84. In La Liga in the 4th season, as we are once again the champions. 10 points ahead of Barcelona, 94 points we've made, 101 goals scored. The Super Copa also goes once again to us, 3-0 over Real Betis in the final, another point onto the leaderboard, added to of course the 3 for La Liga. We've also won the Copa de España against our crosstown rivals Atletico Madrid. The question is, can we make it back to back UCL titles for the 4th time in a row? It started off very well, topping our group, 4 points out of Bayern Munich in second. Beating PSV even though we lost the second leg at home, 4-2 on aggregate. In the semis, we even scraped through Athletic Bilbao. Once again, Athletic are on the surface here in the Champions League. And we defeat PSG to make it 4 Champions Leagues in a row. That is the new record. Of course, Madrid holds the old one themselves for 3 UCL finals and wins in a row. Now we have established a new one. Responsible for that 4th Champions League in a row and for the 11 points in this 4th season are certainly Rodrigo and Bellingham with 23 and 20 goals respectively. Vini decreased a little bit. 16 goals, 9 assists is still a good season, but nowhere near where he was last season, or the last 3 seasons actually. I mean, can this Real Madrid team even miss we have had 4 nearly perfect seasons. I think we've lost 1 single final in the 4 seasons. That is insane. Another perfect season, 11 points on the board. We are on 41 points in total after 4 seasons. It's season number 5. We dive into, well, I mean, what do I even have to say here? I really don't see where we can improve this team. And I don't think we have some players who return from loan who I'm still trying to get rid of here. Canizares, Vallejo and Paz. We have an 83 rated Carvajal at 35 years of age who will certainly get replaced. But otherwise, I don't see what to do. I think with one transfer, we are done for this transfer window. Our only transfer in season number 5, a new right back, replacing Daniel Carvajal as the backup option in Arnau Martinez, who joins us for 68 million plus Daniel Carvajal from Milan. Now doesn't even make it to the bench. He's on the reserves right now. That is how strong this Real Madrid side are, and I would be really, really disappointed if we made less than 10 points this season. That's the goal once again. Of course, we will play the UEFA Super Cup, which is hosted in Germany in the Waldstadion against the Germans of Wolfsburg. Will we overcome them to make our first point in the 5th season? We quick sim the game and we win 2-1. I think that's the third 2-1 victory in a UEFA Super Cup in a row. Be opposed to AS Monaco from France, Celtic Glasgow from Scotland and Royal Union Saint-Gilloise from Belgium. A group that we should hope. We are once again ahead in the La Liga table, 6 points ahead of Barcelona and another 3 points onto the board, our first 3. And another 3 points onto the board. Added to the UEFA Super Cup, we are on 4 points in season number 5 so far. Make that 6 because we have defeated Barcelona as well. Standard procedures, I always seem to say. In the Copa del Rey, however, we have lost the final for the first time to Sevilla. No points in the Copa del Rey, we stay at 5 points. However, the big one. How did we do in the Champions League? We topped our group, it started perfectly because 18 points out of 18 possible. In the round of 16 we destroyed Wolfsburg 5-1. In the quarters we even thumped Bayern Munich 4-1. And in the semis we absolutely destroyed Liverpool after a 1-1 draw at home, 5-0 away at Anfield. But in the final we lose. Real Madrid never lose Champions League finals, but here they do. In season number 5, our first loss of the Champions League, and it's in the final against PSG, who get their revenge for last year's final, of course. Junior is back atop of the stats. He scored 24 goals in 33 appearances, which is very good. Just like Rodrigo here with 22 in 29. Mbappe a bit disappointing, up to a 96, but only 16 goals in 39 appearances. I can't lie, lads. We've been runner-up in the Copa del Rey and the Champions League. I know this is really being picky at the highest level, but still I have to say this season has been the least successful. With only 5 points, still good, but 2 final appearances, both lost. This is not great. Let's jump into season number 6 and win another Champions League. We are at the halfway point of this takeover with Vini Jr. at 99 overall. Mbappe at 96, Kvaratskhelia at 95, we have Bellingham 95, Valverde 94, Rodri 94. Except for one player, we have a fully 90 plus rated starting 11. Hakimi is the only one under the overall of 90 with 89. Maybe a replacement for Courtois down the line. Lunin is 29 already as well. He's at 87, 5 lower rated than Courtois. Maybe we do that. But otherwise, I really don't know what to do here. Vini Jr. at the 99 at 27 years of age. That is crazy. The first player we signed in this 6th season here with Real Madrid is a regen goalkeeper from Senegal. He will replace Thibaut Courtois down the line. This could be Edouard Mendy's regen, but he's really highly rated. He's 20 to 88 overall already. And still he doesn't get into the team here. It is Edouard Gay for 100 million on the dot joining us from Juventus. We have a small little gap in our defense. We have 3 centre backs in our team, and that is why we go in for a 4th one. Just to have 2 players per position, of course. Our second and final signing of season number 6 here. It is William Saliba, the centre-back. He wanted to win some trophies. That's why he decided to come in from Atletico Madrid, our crosstown rivals. At this team now, we have still an 89 rated Hakimi at right back. Martinez, 4 years younger, is only 2 behind him in overall. We of course have now William Saliba on the bench, 27-89. Way is also on the reserves, 22-88. Maybe I will loan him out for 1 season. At the halfway point of the takeover, of course, as I said before, we have reached 46 points. Let's see how many we can add in season number 6. Here it is then. We loan out Edouard Gueye for 1 season to Inter Milan to get him the game time he needs. Our Champions League group in season number 6 here is Group F, alongside the powerhouse that is Milan, RC Lens from France, and Vitória Guimarães from Portugal. 10 points ahead of Real Sociedad in the 6th season, 12 ahead of Barcelona. Although we have dropped in points, 10 draws have really done us dirty here, but only 3 losses is just from another planet. And that's why we preserved 10 points of advantage over Sociedad. However, we have lost the Super Cup on penalties, so it stays 3 points only for the league so far. It's a 4th point though, as we have beaten Granada of all teams in the Copa de España final. We topped our Champions League group in flying colours ahead of the Giants of Milan, before beating Chelsea 4-3 in a close game in the round of 16, destroying Barcelona 7-2 in the quarters, and oh my, losing to Inter in the semis after being up away from home 3-1. We have lost 5-4 on penalties, 4-4, losing 3-1 at home. We have absolutely bottled this Champions League run. A 30-year-old Mbappe was for the first time our leading goal scorer at 25 goals in 36 appearances. Vini Jr. at 99 overall, I still can't get over this. 19 goals. Another bit of a bleak season. He had better seasons before, but Šeško didn't. He comes in clutch at 26 years of age, 88 overall, 19 goals for him. It gets worse because season 5 was a drop-off from 11 to 5 points. Now in the 6th season from 5 to 4 points. Still, even though we had a little bit of a drop-off, we are on 50 points after 6 seasons, which is already one better than Napoli. Let's jump into season number 7. To start off season number 7, we go in for a Portuguese wonderkid on FC 24. It is a man who still at this point plays at Benfica. He only gets a sporadic squad role but a royal presentation. João Neves joining us for 130 million from Benfica. Just to have a little bit of fun at this point, we go in once again for a player from our crosstown rivals Atletico Madrid. Probably the Heung-min Son region. It is Chi Hu-lin coming in for 100 million. I didn't know what to offer. I have stupid money anyways, that's why I can easily take an F negotiation. And our third and final signing, I know it's a controversial one, it's certainly the Lionel Messi region. He's Argentinian, 20 years of age, 92 overall, from Inter Miami. And we give them Arda Güler plus 100 million here for this man. It is Pedro Carmona coming in for 100 million plus Arda Güler, as I said. And he's about a 92 overall and not good enough to start in this team. That is unbelievable. I will convert Pedro Carmona to a right winger, which will only take him about 10 weeks. As well as Chi Hu-lin to a right winger as well from a left winger, which will only take 2 weeks for him. I've actually been changing my take on Carmona because I believe with 98 passing he's a better cam and he could give competition to Bellingham. This is our squad for the 7th season with Lee now on the reserves. We have Gueye on the bench now this season, 23-89. He of course returned from loan, the goalkeeper regen. And I certainly believe with nobody now, as Hakimi has passed the 90, nobody is under the overall of 90 in this first 11. Even on the bench, only 2 players in Gueye and Šeško were both very close to the 90s. What can you say here? It needs to win all the trophies that are remaining. Not easy, but absolutely manageable. Roma and Monaco will be competition, but Kraków from Poland will be the whipping boys. We should top that group in flying colors, in my opinion. we change Pedro Carmona's position from a centre forward to a cam, and he stays at a 93. We win a record 7th Spanish league title in a row with 96 points, 12 ahead of Atletico Madrid, who also had a brilliant season. Barcelona all the way down in 5th. However, we have lost once again the Super Cup final. This begins to annoy me now, against Sociedad 2-1. And we stay at 3 points. For the first time we haven't reached the final even of the Copa de España. It's Real Betis defeating their crosstown rival Sevilla. We have had a piss-poor performance here, getting knocked out to Eibar of all teams in the round of 16. Abysmal. However, the big one, the one where we could pull away once and for all, the Champions League, where we topped our group in flying colours just as I predicted, 9 points ahead of Monaco in 2nd. We beat Leeds United, of all teams, in the round of 16, 4-2 on aggregate, before defeating, in fact scraping through Milan in the quarters 4-3, defeating Sevilla in the semis 4-2, but losing, oh no, this is getting cursed now. We won 4 Champions Leagues in a row, but now haven't won in either of the last 3 editions. We have lost to Borussia Dortmund. That is awful. I mean, this season is Rodrigo's turn to tear the league apart. 28 goals for him in 31 appearances and even 9 assists. Mbappe with 18 goals, Bellingham even with 17, Vini Jr. Why has he only scored 8 goals? 13 assists is good, but 8 goals is really weak. I mean, the stats aren't looking as good as they used to look. That is one reason why we haven't done that well, especially in the Champions League. The team is still incredible. I mean, again, Gay now in goal. He's 24-91 overall. Courtois on the bench as a 38-year-old, still 90 overall. That is crazy. I cannot understand why we have done so poorly in the Cups. After 7 seasons, we are on 53 points, which is, of course, the lead. We started off with all guns blazing in the first 4 seasons. But since then, we have gradually decreased our levels. That has to change in season number 8. He's now coming on with age, he's 30 years of age, still an 88 rated, but we got 70 million from Juventus for Andre Lunin. Finally, we can sell somebody that I tried to sell for 3 years now. It is Nico Paz joining Atletico, our crosstown rival. In this save here, Real and Atletico become friends. Season number 8's first signing is for a world-class prospect. I'd say probably the Harry Kane regen, as he joins us from Newcastle United for 72 million. Next man joining us is a new goalkeeper. He's only 22, it's a German regen. Certainly the Manuel Neuer regen, I would say. He's coming in from OGC Nice from France into the fancy Real Madrid offices. It is David Haas, joining us for 82.7 million from the French League. We loan out David Haas to Mallorca for 2 years, just to get him the game time he deserves. To round out the transfer window of season number 8, we go in for yet another South American in good old Real Madrid fashion. Last season we went in for the Lionel Messi regen. This season it is, I think, Paulo Dybala or Angel Di Maria's regen. Pepe Munoz joining us from Wolves, of all teams, for 100 million on the dot. And with 1 hour to go in the transfer window, on deadline day we have sent out Pepe Munoz to Valencia. For 2 years, we can always call him back if needs must. We have Rodrigo at 96 on the bench, only 29. Because Kvaratskhelia, also 29, 96, is in the starting 11. They chop and change. That is maybe the easiest Champions League draw we've had all takeover long, as it is Newcastle United, OGC Nice and Bodo Glimt we are facing. That only though this season, another 3 points on the board, of course, in season number 8. 3 losses only, 85 points, 7 ahead of Barcelona. Once again the Super Copa to Atletico Madrid this time, no points there. That changes though in the Copa de España that we reclaim the Copa de España against Athletic Bilbao, +1, 4 points for this season. Can we make it a treble? We topped Group C with 14 points, flying colours, 0 losses ahead of Nice. But then got knocked out, oh my god, we lost at home and got knocked out on penalties 3-0 against Olympique Marseille from France. That is an atrocious shit show. The stats have never looked this bad in the 8 seasons we've done so far. We have 16 goals for Mbappe, 14 for Rodrigo, 13 for Vini and Garnacho, and 10 for Carmano and Sesko, 9 for Bellingham, but no one in their 20s. Going into the final 2, we need to strap ourselves in once again because we haven't played well in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Let's jump. Here we are then in season number 9, and I'm gonna be honest with you lads, I don't know where to improve this squad. Hakimi has improved, he's 32 granted. Maybe a new right back for the future, but as we only have 2 seasons left and we have Martinez here, we can also put him in as soon as Hakimi decreases. Rodri is now about 35, still 90 rated on the bench. Carmona, the Messi region, 22.94. We send out Ruben Anderson on a loan move to Wolves for 1 year. Our first signing of season number 9 is for a new right back who's only 20 years of age, a Spaniard. Alfonso Parra joining us from Hellas Verona in Italy for 110 million. Is a new Belgium CM. He's 18 years of age and I'm relatively sure that it's the Kevin De Bruyne region. From Manchester City for 19.7 million plus Rodri, who is now a little bit useless at 89 overall, 35 years of age. I know I said we wouldn't go in for another player, but that's until I found a 20-year-old, 84-rated centre-back in Rodney Kramer from Eintracht Frankfurt. He gets 100k. Just to get over with it, he wants even more here, 105k. And we give him that. He gives us good rotational backup cover. In, of course, the centre-back position at 84 overall, 20 years of age. We are that good that we can simply afford to loan out Alfonso Parra to Roma for 1 season because we still have 2 right backs who are better than him, and Kramer to Lyon in France, of course, for 1 season, as he's only the 5th string centre back, so 2 of our new players are already loaned out. Nothing really much changed, of course, except for the fact Martin is a CM on the reserves for now, and then we have Lee who returned from loan in a Europa League quality Champions League group here, alongside OGC Nice, KAA Ghent, and FC Copenhagen. We absolutely need to smoke that group. We are at the end of the 9th season with a similar image than last year. 8 points out of Barcelona, 86 points. Yet another 3 points on the board. We've never lost La Liga, just remember that, lads. We have also won the Super Copa over Athletic Bilbao 4-1, a 4th point this season. No 5th point, however, as Granada have lost to Sociedad in the Copa de España, and we got knocked out in the round of 32, very tricky opposition in Sevilla away, 5-4 on pens. And in the Champions League, the big one, we topped our group very close here, actually, ahead of Copenhagen, Ghent and Nice. We won against Leeds United, even though we lost the second leg, 4-2 on aggregate, 5-2 in the quarters against Villarreal, 5-1 we destroyed Aston Villa, which means we play Manchester City for another 5 points. Can we get them? No, oh my god. A 3rd final lost already in the Champions League. We didn't lose any of them in the first 3 or 4 seasons. We won all the Champions Leagues. Now we have lost a 2nd or 3rd Champions League final in a row. And yet again, we can see why we've done a bit poorly, especially in the Cups. Mbappe and Sesko with 17 goals is good, 15 for Garnacho, 12 only for Vini, 11 for Bellingham, 11 for Rodrigo, and 11 for Quara. So the stats are very well balanced here. I mean, we have about 7 or 8 players in double digits, which is great, but no player running away with it like Vini did at the beginning here. Vini really is like the image of our downfall. He has only scored 12 goals, when at the beginning he scored about 40 or 35. We still are doing an amazing job, but technically a bit of a downfall we had, of course. Let's extend the lead at the top of the leaderboard in the 10th and final season. For a long time, Achraf Hakimi was our starting right back, but now he's only the 3rd string because Parra has returned from loan. And so we have sold him to Juventus for 85.8 million. Beginning of this final season, Courtois down to an 85, he's retiring at the end of the season. We have Haas, I think he goes to the bench because he's 24.88. Guay in goal, he's the starting goalkeeper, 26.92. And even without any signings, because Neves has returned from loan, Munoz has returned from loan, and even Kramer, just like Anderson, those players are more than enough to attack that final season with Real Madrid to see how many trophies we can win. Our final Champions League group will consist of Juventus, the Italian Giants, KAA Ghent from Belgium, and Midtjylland from Denmark. The two final ones there, Ghent and Midtjylland, are really weak, but Juventus are a powerhouse. Still, I believe, in our final season, we have made it 10 league titles out of 10. 10 in a row. That is Bayern Munich numbers, and 2 losses only, and by a big margin as well, 11 points ahead of Sevilla. We also collect a 4th point this season, beating, in fact destroying Sociedad in the Super Cup 4-0. However, in the Copa del Rey, in the Copa de España, we were not participating in the final once again. It's Sociedad in the final there, again, losing to Villarreal. And we have gotten knocked out by Villarreal B in the round of 16, which is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. Villarreal's B team have knocked us out. Well, last try here to win a Champions League and make it 9 points in this season. We have topped our group ahead of Juventus. We have destroyed Manchester City in the round of 16, 7-3. We have beaten Chelsea in the quarters, 4-2. And in the semis, we have beaten Roma. We have come from behind, 5-3 on aggregate, where we faced Sociedad in the final and won finally again. Sociedad are really a bit unlucky. They've been in like 3 finals and lost all of them this season. But we are on 9 points for season number 10. Final stats are looking like this. Sesko is the top dog this season. I mean, he's up to a 91. If you ever want a great striker, Benjamin Sesko is the man. Mbappe down by 1 in overall, still with 20 goals. 19 for Vinicius, 17 for Rodrigo. Once again, a lot of players in double digits. Just like Bellingham, Garnacho and Carmona. This is the final squad we have built at Real Madrid. Of course, the lowest rated player in this starting 11 is Botman, who's gone down to a 90 overall. It's an incredible side. So to end off this takeover, we have made in total 70 points. We have won 10 leagues, which is incredible, absolutely bonkers. Of course, Real Madrid are now the clear leaders on the takeover board. An absolutely incredible takeover. And if you enjoyed it as well, please consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. It really helps the growth of the channel massively.